because the universe absolutely loves the big gotcha. I didn't get the job. Yep, another one bites the dust. You know the song. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend it doesn't sting a little bit because this one actually felt really promising. We're talking great conversations, mutual understandings, alignment on strategies, the whole 9 yards. I walked away thinking, okay, maybe the universe is finally throwing me a bone here. And then it came, that late 7 p.m. email. We appreciate your time and sharing your skill set and letting us get to know you better. But, and that's when I quit reading. If you are a Gen Xer watching this, drop a comment right now if you have felt this exact psychological whiplash. Because welcome back to the strangest purgatory in human history. We are actually caught in this zone between too young to retire, but apparently, according to modern algorithms, excuse me, and those 20-something-year-old recruiters fresh out of college, we're too old to hire. Let's talk about the cultural lie our generation was fed. We were raised on a very simple rule book. Put your head down, build a real world skills, real world skills. That's really hard to say. Real world skills. Show up, do the work, and create a good track record for yourself. Your output should show for itself, right? But in 2026, the job market doesn't care about track record. It only cares about optimized keywords. Cares about whether you fit that very specific, cheap corporate mold. The phrase you hear a lot when you have over a decade of or 2 decades, foundational experience. The one that really gets me is you're overqualified. But let's translate what overqualified is actually means, in today's lingo. It means you know too much. You have too much institutional knowledge to buy into our broken ass system. You actually know what your time is worth, and we can't easily manipulate you because you've already seen it all. They say all this like it's a bad thing. The crisis treated judgment, operational stability, and the ability to actually solve problems without a tutorial video like it's a liability. It's not a liability. This is just wild to me. They want you to come in knowing enough, but not too much because they still need to manipulate you. That's their whole thing. I don't understand. I'll never understand that. And here is where all that Gen X versus retirement really hits hard. We can't just walk away. Social Security, trust fund, that's starting to all just crumble. We might not even get it when we are able to retire. The cost of living completely upside down, especially where I live here in California. I just found out the median home price in California hit $900,000. $900,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom? Really? Who can afford that? And honestly, we still want to work. We have a massive amount of energy here. We're still Gen X. We're used to doing everything the hard way and all on our own. So give it to us. We're looking to get, that gold watch. We don't care about that. We just want to be able to sit on our front porch for our last 20 or 30 years and know that all was worth it. So you're stuck in this bizarre middle ground, right? Trying to navigate that AI driven performance hiring process that feels more like social engineering than your merit based business. Even today, I just went on to Indeed real quick, saw something I wanted to apply for, and went ahead and put my application in. But on Indeed, you can go and look, and it was Second I hit enter, it was immediately rejected. It didn't pass one of their Q points. Well, I'm sorry, if your Q point was asking for something in like a experience or schooling type of way or certification type of way, I'm pretty sure that all the experience I have would have probably outmerited that little ticker box you wanted checked, but whatever. Now, I've talked on this channel before about the hybrid strategy, balancing your own business, consulting, or whatever, and looking for that steady part time or full time role to keep things anchored. But when you hit these walls repeatedly, your brain tries to turn on, just turn off. It whispers, maybe you are obsolete. It feels like you're running straight into crashing ocean waves during a hurricane. It just doesn't make sense. I can't see where this makes sense. But I wanted to remind you of something because I have to keep reminding myself too. If a company looks at your stability and decades of experience and your ability to hit the ground running and they see a risk instead of an asset, that's a design flaw in their business model, not a flaw in you. Don't want an expert. They want a placeholder, someone they can just kick around. So this wasn't the plan at 50, right? Thought we'd, by this stage, we'd be the matriarch in the room, the respected one with the miles they've put in. It's exhausting to have to prove yourself and your worth over and over to people who weren't even around when you started your career. But if corporate doors or any job opportunities keep slamming in our faces, maybe it's time we stop knocking on them. Maybe it's just time we focus entirely on building our own thing, whether that's fractional work, your own independent business, contracting. We know how to survive. We've been doing this our whole lives. This shouldn't be any different. If you've been rejected recently after a lead that felt completely solid, do me a favor, don't suffer in silence. Leave me a comment down below, you guys. I want to hear your stories too, just as much as I want to tell you mine. If you want, just leave a brief note, just, hey, I agree, or hey, you're wrong, or whatever. I just want to hear other people's opinions on this. Anyway, I am enjoying having these conversations with y'all. It's kind of, I guess, a little bit therapeutic these days because I really am not sure who to keep talking to around here. Nobody wants to hear me complain over and over. And it's not really that it's a complaint. It's just having to get this frustration out because it's so overwhelming my day. And I have nowhere else to turn except for like minded individuals who maybe are going through the same thing. And I'm really enjoying this community we're creating here. Also, you guys, if you're interested in creating a community of your own and starting off on YouTube, I have some great coaches that I use over at SKOOL. It's called SKOOL, Common Sense Methods with Kevin and Michelle. They're absolutely amazing and they have wonderful advice and they're here to help. Whether you're new to YouTube, been doing it a while, or just hitting that wall and need a little extra boost, I would definitely check them out. And I'm going to leave their link in the description box down below so you can do that. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to continue my journey. I'm going to continue this. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a circus these days. Am I the acrobat? Am I the ringleader? I'm really not sure. And I'm going to go get it tackled. And hopefully I will come back with some really great news for you guys next time. All right. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great day.